Hey everyone, welcome to Grow Your Imagination. In this video you'll see 10 of the best hanging plants for the terrace garden. Keep watching for a bonus pro tip to stop your hanging plants drying out in containers. Let's go ahead with number 1. Petunias are ideal plants for hanging baskets because they cope best if soil is left to dry before watering again, which reduces the maintenance requirements. Petunias do best in full sun, so if possible hanging the basket on the outside edges of your terrace or balcony garden may give best results. Approximately 2 to 3 petunia plants in a 10 to 12 inch hanging basket should fill out to give you a hanging basket full of beautiful flowers. Number 2, Verbena is a great flower for a summer display of flowers, and it will cope in drier conditions if needed. The flowers don't need deadheading to keep flowering, which makes them a great addition to the terrace garden. And if you like strongly scented flowers, then lemon verbena is a great hanging basket variety with a lemon scent when rubbed. And the flowers can even be used as a garnish for lemon cheesecake, as they are completely edible and a good reason for growing them in your garden. Number 3 is geraniums. They like full sun and bloom through spring and summer. And if brought indoors over winter, they'll survive and be ready for another year of flowering in the garden. And before the frost comes along, you can cut back the stems to about 6 inches so that the plant isn't having to support as many leaves, and you then only need to water when the remaining leaves show sign of needing it. Ivy leaf and zonal geraniums are popular choices for containers and hanging baskets. Ivy leaf geraniums are fast growing with as much as 6 foot of spread if grown in the garden bed. Number 4. Nasturtiums. Nasturtium flowers and leaves are fully edible and often also grown in the vegetable garden bed. There they can help keep the aphids distracted from other crops, and the leaves have a peppery taste and are ideal in a salad. Nasturtiums don't need much attention, and leaving them to their own devices without plant feed is how they will thrive. In fact, fertiliser can actually result in lots of growth in the leaves and less flowers. Cherry tomatoes are good companions for nasturtiums as they will help keep the aphids off your tomatoes. Nasturtiums flower from summer to the first autumn frost. Number 5. Begonias can cope well with a slightly shadier spot in the garden, with full sun in the height of day possibly stressing the begonias. Hanging on the terrace garden works perfectly. Begonias grow quickly and they grow from tubers. Their preference is slightly acidic soil and they like to be watered regularly, but are still easy to look after. The flowers can be red, orange or yellow, which makes for a beautiful display in a hanging basket. Number 6. Strawberries. Who doesn't love a strawberry? You don't just have to stick with the flowers in a container. Plants that provide something edible for the kitchen aren't just a nice tasty addition, but can actually be very pretty and offer something different. 3 to 4 strawberry plants planted around the edges of a 12 to 14 inch hanging basket is perfect. One big benefit of growing strawberries in a hanging basket is that it keeps them away from pesky slugs and snails or garden mice and rats, which can be tempted by a vegetable garden. It's best to water daily in the summer as containers can dry out more easily. Strawberry plants fruit for up to 3 years, after which replacing them with new ones is best, although they do grow runners, which can help give you 3 strawberry plants, so worth taking advantage of this if you have the space. Lobelia's most famous or common colouring is vibrant blue, but they also come in a variety of other colours including red, lilac and tropical colours. Edging lobelia is one of the most common varieties grown in hanging baskets. One benefit of growing lobelia is that the flowers don't need to be deadheaded. Number 8. Fuchsias have bell-shaped flowers and can do well in shady or partly shady conditions, but aren't so good in cold temperatures. Because they likely wouldn't last a freeze, they can be brought indoors over winter, but with no guarantee that they would survive as they prefer humid conditions. Rapunzel is a perfect variety as it trails well over the edges of a hanging container up to a few feet in length. Number 9. Osteopermiums flower in summer through to autumn and do best in full sun. They flower for many months. It can be especially important to keep soil conditions moist in containers for best results. Osteopermium Snow Pixie is one hardy variety that, if it establishes and survives a few winters, can do well. Other varieties may also survive, but it can be hit and miss if the winter is particularly harsh or if the variety is less hardy. Number 10. Cherry tomatoes. Cherry tomatoes make great hanging basket plants, trailing and growing clusters of cherry tomatoes for you to pick off and eat. A great option if you are short of room in the vegetable garden, given that they can be off the ground, not taking up much valuable space. Homegrown tomatoes are full of flavour, and one variety we've had success with is Tumbling Tom. To grow tomatoes yourself from seed in the UK, they are started in March or April, and then once they've established, they can be transferred to a hanging basket once there is no more danger of a frost, but usually towards the end of May. We mentioned a bonus tip to avoid your container basket drying out, and generally hanging baskets have to be lined to enable filling with soil. Some use plastic bags and add drainage holes, and whilst this can work, it's perhaps not the most environmentally friendly. So a better way is to use cocoa coir liners, which are made from coconut husks and can last many seasons. They work by holding and absorbing water, which is then slowly absorbed by the soil. I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss more gardening videos and much more. Check out this playlist, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.